I wanted to do a quick review about the refrigeration cycle, but more than anything else, the liquid line. For example, if we have the condensing unit like this, we're going to have the suction line, and we're going to have the liquid line that's coming out through here. Now, refrigerant is going to be coming out in this direction, going into the indoor unit where the evaporator is. But this liquid line in here, what are we going to find in this liquid line? Typically, well, on some units, you may have a receiver. From the receiver, you're going to have a king valve. You have the king valve. So here we have the receiver, the king valve. After the king valve, what we're going to do is we're going to find a liquid line filter dryer. The direction of this should be pointing to the inside of the house, because this is the flow of refrigerant is going to be going into the metering device. Sometimes what you find after this is going to be your sight glass. The sight glass is so you can look inside of the unit, so you can see what's inside. If you have 100% liquid going into the indoor unit, that's typically what you want to do. From here, it will hook right up to the indoor unit here, but in the center, if you notice, I did a dot right there. Typically, that's your moisture indicator. Your moisture indicator is to tell you if you have moisture in the system. Now, we want to see this in the green. We want that dot to be green. Sometimes if you go up to it, and if it is yellow, that means that you have moisture in the system. So we want to keep an eye on that. Sometimes when you have had a dirty system, they tend to turn brown or black, which means that you have had a dirty system or your system is dirty. Now, if this happens to turn yellow, you know you have moisture in the system, so what you need to do is you're going to have to pump the system down, remove and replace the liquid line filter dryer, put a new one in there, and this should turn back to the green. Should turn back to the green. Now, don't forget, once you remove your liquid line filter dryer, then you're going to have to put a vacuum on the system, which is going to remove more of the moisture. Sometimes what we do is we can do a pump down, or we can just recover the entire refrigerant charge so that we can remove all of the moisture that might be in the system and put fresh refrigerant in there. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about. We have from the service valve right here, because you have a liquid line service valve, you're going to have the receiver, then you have the king valve, liquid line filter dryer, and your sight glass. They're going to be in this order. And on another video, we'll talk about what happens when the liquid line filter dryer gets plugged up and or it gets dirty. Also, we'll talk on another video about the receiver.